So I previously made a video about branched-chain amino acids effects at the level of the muscle. But what I find even more fascinating is their effects in the brain. So to get the full rundown on what branched-chain amino acids are, simply just watch the previous video. The brief recap is that branched-chain amino acids are only 3 of the 20 to 22, depending on who you ask, amino acids. These are leucine, isoleucine, and valine. So when we take branched-chain amino acids, the level of leucine, isoleucine, and valine inside of our bloodstream will elevate. And in order for these amino acids to get inside of the brain, they have to pass through what's called the blood-brain barrier. And this is simply a barrier of cells that keeps our bloodstream and our brain barriered. And it only allows specific molecules from our bloodstream entrance into the brain. And this is to keep out any of the potential harmful molecules that may be floating around in our bloodstream from getting into the brain and affecting our cognitive function. And the branched-chain amino acids get in through what's called the L-type amino acid transporter, or the LAT1 transporter. And it's important to know that multiple different amino acids go through this transporter. And this is called competition, meaning that all of these amino acids compete for entrance into the brain for this singular transporter. These include the 3 branched-chain amino acids, phenylalanine, tyrosine, tryptophan, histidine, and methionine. And the 2 I really want to focus on are going to be tryptophan and tyrosine. But first, when we take branched-chain amino acids, what this means is that we'll have an elevation of these 3 amino acids in the bloodstream. And this will kind of inhibit the entrance of the other amino acids into the brain. And this is simply just a numbers game. But what's really interesting is that this could have a myriad of different effects on different people, depending on their baseline levels of neurotransmitters. You see, all of our neurotransmitters are actually made out of amino acids. Specifically, tryptophan is converted into serotonin. And serotonin is a neurotransmitter that really modulates our mood. What I mean is that serotonin will make us feel either comfortable or uncomfortable with our current state. We get higher serotonin levels after we eat to tell us that we don't need any more food and we're comfortable with our current state of fullness. And now if we have extremely high levels of serotonin, we actually get comfortable in states that we shouldn't be comfortable in. This would be things like not having a job and simply sitting on the couch all day because you feel comfortable just sitting there. And this is kind of akin to just a lack of motivation to change the state that you're in. And when we have extremely low serotonin, we will begin to develop feelings of anxiety simply due to discontentment and feelings like we're not doing something that we should be. Additionally, serotonin is eventually converted into melatonin during the night. And melatonin is the molecule that really regulates our entire sleep pattern. Not enough melatonin and we will have an inability to go to sleep, but too much melatonin, when we wake up in the morning, we may feel extremely tired or groggy. And the other amino acid that I'll talk about is going to be tyrosine. Tyrosine is eventually converted into dopamine. And dopamine is extremely important for our motivation. When dopamine levels are elevated, we're motivated to pursue an external goal. Not having enough dopamine could cause you to feel extremely unmotivated and feel like the act of putting in effort simply is not worth it. However, having extremely high dopamine all the time can cause what's referred to as mania. And this is actually caused by extreme motivation that actually causes abnormal side effects. You see, just because we have motivation for something doesn't mean that it's a smart decision. Some of the symptoms of mania is actually losing all of your money because you're motivated to spend it all and motivated to buy new things. Another symptom is actually losing sleep because you have so many things on your mind that you want to pursue that you don't see the benefits of sleep as being very important. So as you can see, we want a normal amount of all of these neurotransmitters. And when we take branched-chain amino acids, these branched-chain amino acids will inhibit the entrance of all of these other amino acids into the brain. So if we have normal levels of dopamine and serotonin production, when we inhibit the entrance of the precursor, our levels may begin to decline and we'll see some of the symptoms of low serotonin or low dopamine. And all of those other amino acids that I didn't mention because it would make this video extremely long also have extremely important effects inside of the brain for maintaining healthy cognitive function. However, let's say someone has extremely high dopamine or extremely high serotonin. When they take branched-chain amino acids, they may begin to actually feel better. But in a scenario where you have high serotonin but low dopamine, taking branched-chain amino acids may make your serotonin status better but really decrease your dopamine status. So as you can see, I don't think taking branched-chain amino acids would ever be a treatment for any sort of psychological disorder. However, I kind of just want to pinpoint the fact that taking these branched-chain amino acids could have a little bit more of an effect than we realize. And this is once again why I don't think going around and just randomly supplementing with things is going to be beneficial, because there's a lot of side effects that we don't really think of initially. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I have the pleasure of speaking to you next video.